Going to ask, what are some things that we can do to help you to spread that idea of getting the government out of the way? Because I appreciate you being on the inside. What do you suggest?
Absolutely. That's a great question. And here's what I would ask all of us to remember, okay? I know that some of you are probably business owners or have been involved in business, and even if you haven't, this is what I want you to remember. McDonald's continues to advertise. Coca-Cola continues to advertise, okay? Now, you could look at something like McDonald's, okay, and you could say, well, look, everybody knows about McDonald's. There's a McDonald's on every corner. I mean, you can't hardly turn your head without seeing a McDonald's. Everybody knows about McDonald's. Therefore, the chief executives at McDonald's could consider just really not doing any advertising and really not doing any, educating of the public about their product. But they don't do that. They continue to advertise. Coca-Cola continues to advertise. These brands that are the most well-known brands in the world continue to spend millions and maybe even billions of dollars a year on advertisement. Why do I mention that? I mention that because the message is never finished being taken to the street. Okay, the big thing is we've got to keep taking the message to the street. We've got to keep using our imagination. We've got to keep thinking of ways that we have not yet used to get to the public. Okay, and we've also got to reinforce the people that have already been with us. Because what we have to keep in mind here is when I say that this is a battle, I certainly don't want to compare it to the real life and death blood battles that are happening all over the world where our brave servicemen and women are out there fighting real fights. But the fact still remains that this is a battle. This is a battle. And in any battle, the foot soldiers are going to become weary. That's just normal, okay? So we've got to do a couple of things. Number one, we've got to take ground, okay? When I say take ground, what I mean by that is reaching out to new people that are not a part of this movement. We've got to take ground. And number two, we've got to fortify what we already have. If you look at it in terms of historically how it is that armies have gone and taken over other nations, what they have to do, if you look back at particularly in ancient history, what they would do is they would take new ground. And then they would fortify that, right? So that it couldn't be taken back, and so that it wouldn't drift back in the other direction. So what we've got to do is we've got to think about new people that we can bring into the fold. But maybe at times like this, during a time of a little bit of a lull, okay, is we need to reach out to the people that we knew have been with us. And fortify the people that have been with us and encourage the people that have been with us. And one of the ways that we can do that, folks, listen. Conservatives, and I can talk about conservatives because I am one, okay? There's certain things that conservatives stink at, all right? One of them is marketing. Now, that is an area in which we've gotten much, much better at over the last couple of years. We really have, okay? The other thing that conservatives have got to stop doing is getting into the mully grubs every time something doesn't go exactly the way we want it to. All right? We stink in that regard, okay? We're terrible in that regard because we are so emotionally wrapped up in wanting to fix this nation, and that's a good thing. That's a good thing, okay? But what happens is I think sometimes we get our hopes so high. We get so excited about what might happen, and then when it's like a football game. Instead of maybe we didn't get a first yard, but we had a 7-yard gain towards that first down. You know, we need to be excited about our gains. We need to be excited about the little victories that we have. And we need to sometimes compare what would have happened in any particular scenario, what would have happened if the Patriots had not awakened a couple of years ago and become engaged the way we are. Folks, think for just a minute where America would be right now if the quote-unquote Tea Party movement had not awakened just a couple of short years ago. And when you compare in your mind's eye, when you compare where we would be as a nation today compared to where we actually are today, that is something that we can be very excited about. We can be excited about our gains, all right? And conservatives typically don't do that real well. Conservatives fall into the mully grubs faster than other groups of people. And I think it's because we are so concerned and we are so aware of the fact that our nation is headed the wrong way, okay? But what we've got to do is we've got to remain positive. And we've got to be excited about the gains that we have had. That doesn't mean that we become satisfied. I'm not implying that we become satisfied with the gains that we've had. I'm saying that let's use the little victories that we've had to build on more and more and more victories. So take new ground and refortify the people that have already been with us.